Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. This is going to be a video unlike one that you guys haven't seen in a while. We've got a couple of updates, and then we're going to get into something very serious. I'm showing you what Piers Morgan said above. Everybody has the right to have free speech and the right to believe or not believe things that other people say. That is the basis of free speech. You have the right to say whatever you want, and I have the right not to believe you. That's your right. That's my right. You do not get the right to threaten me with violence if you don't like what I'm saying. That's when you cross the line. That's the line that a lot of people don't realize is already in the sand. But I want you guys to keep all that in mind as we move through this video, okay? And really pay attention because this is really serious, you guys, like totally. As usual, I brought my proof. Let's go. We're starting off with a response to the video I put up about the lawsuit that Harry was filing because he wants to pay for protection. And Parkwood633 put this comment that you see. You'll have to freeze the screen and read it for yourself. But basically, it's absolutely every single thing that I should have said but couldn't get out of my mouth. Well said, Parkwood. Next up, a story came out saying that Harry was weaponizing the children. And he is, because what he's basically saying to his family is, if you ever want to see my kids, you're going to give me security. You don't use children in that fashion. It's just not acceptable. Okay, I don't have anything to say on this one really anyway, except that's wrong. All right, moving on. This is a little bit of an update about they're wanting to remove the dukedom from Andrew. And I found this interesting. It says the 1917 Titles Deprivation Act during the First World War was put in place to deprive enemy royals from retaining their British peerages. So since Andrew is not an enemy of Britain, that it's not going to apply to him. I really don't know what the answer is at this point. And UK law is so difficult for me. I don't know. All right, moving on. Mary Peterson's not happy that Netflix is going up in cost because they spent too much money apparently on Harry and Meghan's contract. Mary, cancel your Netflix. You will survive, I assure you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into our big story for the day. Most of you are aware that guy Bouzy, Christopher Bouzy, who is running this company called Sentinel, put out his big 53-page report yesterday where he was calling out hate accounts. Now, this report was very interesting for several reasons, but let's just stick with Yankee Wally for 1 second, okay? Yankee, Taz, and Murky Meg were really the three people that this entire report was about. But not long after the report came out, Yankee got this email. And you can stop the screen and look at it if you like. And it's, is it true you were a madam? Is it true you were a prostitute? Is it true you pulled a gun on somebody? Is this true? Is that true? This is all stuff from Google. Nothing great about that research. And the email came from Jack Royston, who works for Newsweek and claims to be a royal reporter, and he wanted a response from Wally. I'm not sure what her response was, but I wasn't going to ask. He then sent a direct message to Taz, and Taz responded with what you're about to see. Again, you'll have to stop the screen to read it. But what Taz wrote was well said, well put, honest, and explained what this guy Bouzy has actually been doing. He's been stalking and harassing people and not even trying to cover it up. Let's see what Mr. Royston does with that information. Mr. Bouzy, while going on about Meghan and Harry hate accounts, now keep in mind there's millions and millions and millions of accounts on Twitter, claims that he's found 50 accounts or something like that, I don't know, that are hate accounts. As you can see from his own tweets, he runs a hate account. He writes nasty things about the royal family, and he whips up the sugars and gets them to write nasty things about the royal family. But yet he has not done one report on those people. Now, the reason that I think, and again, just my opinion, I think he's being financed by Harry and Meghan. Now, when I tell you guys that this man is whipping his followers up into a frenzy, let me give you a perfect example. Look at the tweet below. He tweeted that a lunatic sent somebody to his house. He's had to call the police, and his family is in danger. Then put the same tweet out with a picture to prove, look, the lunatic is here. I've had to call the police. He was pretending to be a delivery man. That's how he tried to get to me. That's what he wrote. And with this, his followers got whipped into a frenzy. Oh my God, I'm praying for you. I hope you stay safe. Take your family's, safety to utmost importance. Oh my God, thank you for sticking your neck out and doing this bot Sentinel report. We know it's put you in danger. Get the point? Come to find out it was a process server because Mr. Bouzy's being sued in court for things that he said and done online, in person. I mean, the guy's in super trouble. And so Mr. Bouzy did not, as far as I can tell, maybe he did, but I don't believe he did. He did not go back on Twitter and tell everybody, yeah, I made a mistake. This was a process server who was serving me paperwork because I'm being sued in a court of law. No, he let everybody believe it was crazy, lunatic followers trying to stop him from doing his job. For those of you who are interested, I found this to be the most amazing reading. You can stop the video, take your time, read through each page. It's shocking material. This is the actual lawsuit that was filed against Mr. Bouzy, of which he was served. Now, what I find really interesting is Mr. Bouzy told people online that he's going to sue like Taz and Wally and me, and he's going to sue all these other people. And he's had people giving him money, donating money to him, when I think the money that's being donated to him is actually going to be used by his defense attorney, in my humble opinion. After all, if you take a look at the other video I did of him, he just went through bankruptcy. I think money may be just a little bit short for this man. All right, now getting back to the main topic of our conversation and this video. I've also noticed that he's not bothering Lady Colin Campbell, probably because she has more money than God, and she would take Mr. Bouzy to the cleaners. She is completely off the report. Interesting. Bouzy had also said before the worst accounts were in the United States, but oh, heck. I guess I should also point out that Mr. Bouzy's not known for mincing words when it comes to dealing with people like the McConnells, Piers Morgan, Lindsey Graham, Nikki Haley. Yeah, he's not exactly known for his speech etiquette. I did find some information online that clearly shows that Mr. Bouzy has been in all kinds of trouble. I've linked it above. It's the Quora link in the description box. Apparently, he got caught scamming Bitcoin. I'm not even sure what the hell Bitcoin is, and that's the truth. He allegedly was accused of running some sort of a dating site, which turned out to be for prostitution. I don't know what's true and what's not as far as that's concerned. I just know that this man doesn't like the royal family. He whips up the sugars to not like the royal family, but yet he's running reports on Taz, Murky Meg, and Yankee Wally. And let me just tell you guys what this really is. This is an attack on free speech. Supposedly, this whole thing was about Twitter, and his company was about Twitter. But when people left Twitter and went to the other site, Getter, he followed them over there. And then he would take screenshots from there and put that on Twitter. And then when people wrote things that he didn't like on other platforms, one person who left Twitter used a platform I've never heard of before called Medium. Maybe you guys have heard of it. I haven't. But when he didn't like what the person was saying on Medium, he asked his followers to report this person en masse to get them off. Now, we all know that Jack Royston, again, reached out, and Yankee Wally got very upset when she got that email. Jack Royston works for Newsweek, correct? And for those who don't know it, Newsweek is owned by Mark Benioff, an IT billionaire and vice president of, wait for it, Harry's Better Up Company. That's right, Harry's Better Up Company, where he's a chimpo. Harry had already said that free speech was bonkers. He was going to do absolutely everything to stop people from talking about him and talking about his wife and what they're doing and their hypocrisy. They bought into that ethical banking, which partially owns a lot of the social media accounts. And now they've hired this guy, in my opinion, who's running around doing this. I had heard that Mr. Royston was a closet sugar, that he really just loves Meghan Markle. And this tweet, as you see above, clearly shows that, because he's following one of the major sugar accounts that spews hate at the royal family. Now, when it was found out that Harry and Meghan had called this woman, you can see the tweets above, they asked them, why would you call somebody that's, attacking your family? And their response was, well, we don't really know her, and we're not even sure what she's done. To which this woman responded, how did they tell the world they don't know me if they literally just called me on my personal phone number? She outed them for being liars. Of course, we already know now from what went on in court that they're both, liars and untrustworthy, but she outed them herself, which I thought was interesting. So Mr. Royston put up these tweets, come look at my story, hit the button, and of course, it was also picked up by People magazine. We already know that Harry and Meghan have people in their pocket via Sunshine Sachs. So it's like exploding. But let me show you what I consider to be hate accounts. And this is actually really sad when you look at it, but watch this. When it comes to Omid Scobie, who's also just a basic mouthpiece, even he's been trying for a while to get Yankee Wally off of Twitter. Because you know what? The truth hurts. In my opinion, Harry should be a little bit more careful about hiring people like this and letting these royal family haters move right along while you're shutting down your dissenters, or you're trying to, because that kind of behavior usually comes back to bite you in the rear. And here's my example. Look out, Harry, because a lot of your rabid fan base already wants you gone. So, yeah, I'd be very careful if I were you. Just my personal opinion again, but I think you need more protection from them than you do from, Taz and Yankee Wally. I think it's important to note that Twitter has already said that this guy's stuff isn't real, that bot Sentinel isn't real, and it doesn't work. And they've already, debunked this guy's, his report. And I like what this young lady said. This report is just made to support the delusional beliefs of the successes. That's all it is. Accountability, calling people out for their behavior is not hate speech. Sorry. So for those of you who are unaware, I am also on the report and listed as a hate account. Now, he has not been able to come up with even one tweet that I said that was abusive. Nothing on me, because I'm not a hate account. The reason that I am in this report is because I did a video on Mr. Bouzy himself. A video, I might add, that he complained to YouTube about and tried to have them remove it. And after they reviewed it, they found I broke no rules and they let it stand. So here's what I'm linking in the description box above. Number one, I'm linking my original video about Mr. Bouzy that caused me to get on that report. Number two, I'm linking the video from Yankee Wally that came out yesterday. Brace yourselves. It's horrible. She's crying. It's just, you can tell he's just like beating her down. And number three, I'm linking in the Quora article that shows you the other stuff that Mr. Bouzy has been involved in. Allegedly, of course. So here is why I think Harry and Meghan are behind this whole thing. Number one, they tried to get people to stop saying anything negative by suing every newspaper they could. They're running out of money. They had to stop doing that. Harry even said himself that our First Amendment right, which is freedom to speech, was bonkers, although that's the right that gave him the chance to sit on Oprah's couch and lie about his family. They then invested money in this ethical banking firm, which has a large percentage of shares in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all of these online presences, where they claim they don't have an online presence, but come to find out that's a lie. They're monitoring Twitter. That is why I believe they have now hired this guy to do this report to try to take down the high accounts that are pointing out all the truth about them. Let's not forget that Harry mentioned this bot Sentinel company mere hours after it came out on the scene. So that tells me that he probably commissioned this guy. These two simply just cannot accept the fact that people don't like them and they don't want to hear anything more that they have to say. Now, you all can be rest assured that YouTube has been contacted because in this great report that he did, he threw YouTube under the bus trying to get them to bend and ban our accounts. YouTube has assured several of us that as long as we don't break their community rules, they're not going to take us down. You guys have my email address just in case something should happen. I'm trusting YouTube to do the right thing and keep us going. And I will also say that according to Bouzy, in the report, he put that Yankee Wally was making like $45,000 a year from this account. Yeah, if that's true, I'd like to know how she's doing it. Well, you guys, this has been a really hard video to make. If you want to support us and you don't want to see us all go away, spread the word. Everybody needs to subscribe to Yankee Wally, subscribe to Meg, subscribe to Taz, subscribe to me. Let's keep this all going, all right? I, for one, am not going down without a fight, my friends, so keep the faith. I'm going to end this video a little differently as usual, but just keep the faith, keep going, and we're fighting here for free speech. Leave those comments below because you know I love to read them. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Getter. You can email me, it's in the description box. If you've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys have a great day.